All right, so now we've talked about your upbringing. Obviously, you've been dating from a very young age. How old were you when you got your first girlfriend?
My first girlfriend had to be in maybe the third or fourth grade. I mean, I wouldn't consider girlfriends like being in the second grade. You know, you're just giving out Valentine's Day cards and everything. But I think my first girl, I can give her name, Shannon Hickerson. Wow. Yeah, she was the first girl I ever French kissed and everything. So, you know, we were like boyfriend, girlfriend, and, no, wait, excuse me. It wasn't Shannon Hickerson, excuse me. It was Teresa Mendoza. My mistake. Let me go back. It was Teresa Mendoza. Shannon Hickerson was like fifth grade. So, yeah, the first girlfriend I had was a girl named Teresa Mendoza.
Wow. See, this is so uncommon in terms of the type of people that we end up helping,
Right.
where they didn't have girlfriends and going into their late teens and early 20s. So
Right.
I guess my next question to you is, when did you start coaching men on the topic of dating?
Well, I've always, I would say, well, okay, I kind of had a dull spot in between 7th, 8th, and ninth grade. So probably around the latter part of the ninth grade to the 10th grade, see, this is what happened. My sister became popular, and I was known as Tracy Williams' brother. Okay, you know, I had that stigma. And my thing was, I didn't want to be Tracy Williams' brother because she was so popular, you know, because it's like she said, like my dad, just so popular that everybody saw me as her little brother. So what I did is I went to another junior high school, established a name for myself, and guys were just always asking me, you know, you're with this girl one day, or you're seeing this girl one day, and I mean, what are you doing? And you know, I'm having this problem. I mean, what do you think I should do? I mean, they would just ask me and a few other guys. It just wasn't me. I'd hang out with a bunch of guys who were doing the same thing I was. You know, birds of a feather flock together. But they just asked me questions. You know, I mean, and then I started to see. I guess when I got a little older in high school, I started to notice the tricks, the schemes, because what happened was my first experience was with a 24-year-old married woman when I was about like 13 or 14 years old. So she kind of broke me down and showed me everything I needed to know that I know today. But once that happened, I started to see things. I started to notice the types of control that we have today, where the guys will, a Valentine's Day rolls around and, you know, they're buying flowers. I mean, I used to do that too. I was doing that then. I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know, I started questioning things. So, but to answer your question about people, it started, I guess, around maybe 9th, 10th grade.
Now, you mentioned you were in your early teens, you were with a married woman, how that changed your perspective. Very common element amongst a lot of seduction instructors when they end up with their very first married woman, or they happen to be the other man when the girl has a boyfriend, how that changes their perceptions of women in general. How would you say that affected you? What changed in the way you related to women being the other guy?
Well, I realized the power that the women have. I realized that I started to, I saw, because I used to do that. I used to, you know, Valentine's Day come around, I had to get her a trinket. I had to get her some flowers. I had to get her a card. I had to get her balloons. I had to get her a teddy bear. I mean, I had to do it because that's what I thought you had to do, because if you didn't, she would be mad at you.
Right.
But what I started to realize is that there's something going on here and something's not right, because I met another person who kind of like taught me a little bit also. He was the guy in the neighborhood that always had a new girl come in all the time. A new, you know, we at the basketball court playing basketball. He would always be with a new girl all the time. And I'm like this. I always like to learn. I like to study people and learn. And, you know, while everybody, after basketball's over with, they go, we sit around and talk to this guy about life and about women and, you know, about what you should do and how you should be careful, because this is a guy who would have different types of women every other day. So I had to learn. It was imperative that I needed to know what he was doing, because he's doing something right. And he also, like the woman, showed me the tricks, the makeup, the magic magic tricks, the illusions that most of these women, and they were saying as you get older, it's going to get worse. But I started to see it at a young age.
Let's talk about your podcast. When did you get your website up and running? Why did you go ahead with the website? And when did you start doing your podcasts?
Okay. Well, when MP3 started rolling around, I was still, I went to the Army, Germany. I was still, just helping people out, doing this, all that stuff. But when I found out about MP3, when MP3.com first came out, it was just a place to, I think it was like in 96 or 95, 96. It was somewhere around there. I'm not sure. It was somewhere around that area. But it was a platform for musicians and poets and all these other people. So I was like, hey, why not just tell people? Why not just, if people can say poetry, why not just speak about the game? Why not speak about dating and relationships and problems? And once MP3 fell down, between that time, I got a job with 102.7 CFRO in Vancouver, Canada, working for a guy named Maximus Clean. So I jumped with that. But then got fired from the program because the director's wife, quote unquote, did not think that it was good that I teach guys how to be men. So I kind of lost that. And then came podcasts. I mean, MP3 fell down because they were paying us, and then they came back, and then podcasting kind of rolled in, and then I just slipped right into the podcasting thing.
All right, we got to go to a commercial break. We're talking with the Dean from dating4men.com. That's dating number 4men.com. And when we come back, we'll be talking with the Dean. Please make sure to visit our website, franktalks.com, and we'll be back.
Ladies, does your boyfriend's bathrobe pad look as frightening as an Elvis convention? Then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. Does he own a twin bed and still love his Star Wars sheets? Then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. Is the only source of artificial light in his bachelor pad the bare, dusty bulb hanging from the ceiling? Then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. Do his friends often walk into his apartment and think he has been robbed? Then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. Does your guy think that minimalist means barren as the Gobi Desert? Then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. If his bathroom is home to a colony of anything, then he needs the Pimping Your Pad seminar. The Pimping Your Pad seminar and telephone consultations, only available at franktalks.com. Frank Talks is sponsored in part by the Calibrated Storytelling Seminar. Ladies, does your boyfriend bore you with logic and sports statistics? Is he the death of the party every time he opens his mouth? Does he make you question why you ever went out with him in the first place? Do you wish that he would tell you about his day? Do you long to hear him express himself poetically towards you, but instead you hear phrases like, "Pass me a beer"? Then get him the gift that will bring you emotionally closer together, the Calibrated Storytelling Seminar and telephone consultations, only available at franktalks.com.